It is my honor today to be able to introduce a very special guest to speak to us on the subject of how to survive in the wilderness. When examining many of the candidates that were eligible for this speech, we wanted to bring to you somebody who was very talented, very experienced when it comes to surviving in the wilderness. It could be you tomorrow who finds yourself desolate, isolated from the world, cut off from resources, and you're going to need these tips on how to survive in the wilderness. The qualifications of this man are extensive. As a young child, he was thrown into the Nile River. He was forced to defend his own life. He overcame many of the fiercest crocodiles that the Nile had to offer. He spent more than 40 years of his life in Egypt, building an empire for a kingdom that wasn't even his own. He left Egypt in search for a challenge for his life and found himself on the backside of a desert, tending for sheep that were not even his own. Through this, he began to receive qualifications that not just any survivalist would carry. His humbleness drove him to seek further risk. As he ventured into the wilderness, he decided to make things more challenging. Rather than go by himself, he decided to take millions of people along the way to prove to the world that he was the greatest survivalist. He not only survived, but he thrived in the wilderness. He kicked butt and he took names along the way. He saved many souls from divine judgment and annihilation as he stood face to face on the mountain with God. He wrote many books that are still studied to this day, and they're reverend about his survival experiences in the wilderness. It is my honor and my privilege to introduce to you a man who is not like any other man that this world has ever seen. His meekness surmounts the meekness that we could only strive to receive. Would you please put your hands together and welcome Moses?